Welcome everybody to our July regular meeting. Future committee meetings will be 9 o'clock governance, 9:30 A&F, and immediately following that will be the board meeting. I will be sending out communication this next month. What date? And the date will be 8/21. Okay. I'll be sending out communication this month, looking for your interest on the committees. We're going to try to limit the committees to about 3. I'd just like to see where people's interest in and how we can reassemble some of these now that things have kind of settled down a little bit. And that meeting, excuse me, Mr. Chairman, the third Friday, not the fourth. We had, at the beginning of the year, we had moved that up because of the fair. We're going to keep it there because Christine still has some reporting to do, and if we put it back to the fourth Friday, it's only going to give her 1 day to get all her stuff done. Good. Right. So I'll be sending it out shortly, and appreciate your whatever involvement that you do want to take, but we need to get it straightened out. Okay. Moving on to our Executive Vice President's report, Mr. Schultz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As I put in my reports, as Linda and Christine have noted, we started to draw down our CARES Act funding. And I'd really like to point out, had it not been for that, and we've shared this with all of our federal and state delegation, we most likely would have had to close the doors. With the delay in the STOA payment, we did tap into our line of credit and max that out. You know, the next thing to have gone would have been the insurance reserve, and then we would have, we would not have had any money left had it not been for the CARES Act. As of 7/15, actually I'll update you on that. As of last night, we still have about 19 employees company-wide out. 2 directly COVID related. The rest are quarantining due to underlying health conditions or Hilda's law, or they have somebody in their household that has a compromised immune system. Ridership continues to be down. We're starting to tick up just a little bit. We saw a little increase as Destiny reopened, but we're still about 47–48% down from where we were at this time last year. We continue to manage our PPE supplies to make sure all of our employees have the required PPE. Rick and I did a whirlwind tour over the last 3 or 4 weeks, meeting with all of our, we just finished the last one yesterday, all of our state delegation. We met with Congressman Katko, Schumer's office, and then we've also hit local mayors and some county officials. And as you're aware, the fair was canceled, which quite honestly was a little bit of a relief. You know, we were sitting here waiting. We didn't know what was going on, and when that announcement officially came through, we were a bit relieved. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to report out on the Audit and Finance Committee. As we know, all these were discussed in detail, and all of these have been recommended to the board to adopt. So we'll start out with, there was a motion made, there was actually motion 1 and a motion 2 regarding SUNY Oswego's green and blue route with their auxiliary services contracts from August 1st to 7/30 with the college. Both of those motions were approved to be moved forward to full board for approval. With that being said, could I have a motion to move those 2 motions forward? Tina, second. Darlene, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion 3, Christine and Linda gave a very good overview on the finances. And pretty detailed. Some additional work was done, and I think we all appreciate that. With that being said, a motion was made to bring it to the full board for approval. I need a motion. Darlene, second. Luella. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion 4, got educated a little bit on our workers' compensation insurance renewal with Travelers, which is going to increase the renewal cost. It's going to increase our cash collateral of about $88,000. That motion was made to bring it to the full board for approval. At this point, I need a motion for acceptance. Well, second, first, second, Robert, all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 3B. Caitlin brought forward the Utica Transfer Hub Janitorial Services to award contract to Human Technologies Corporation, along with North Coast Window Cleaning. Contract was decreased from prior year. Motion was made to bring it forward to the board for approval. I need a motion here. Tina, second. Darlene, all in favor?
Aye.
Also, Caitlin advises on, I think it was a sole source, this software, PDS, Vista Software renewal. Motion was made. It's a 5-year agreement. For the additional years, it was fiscally more prudent to go with a 5-year than less, especially with the increases every year. Motion was made to bring it to the full board for adoption. I need a motion for Resolution 3C. Darlene, second. Tina, all in favor? Aye. Resolution 3D, place door 6A at the Syracuse Garage. Jeff gave us a whole background about this. We're going to award contract here. It's 80-10-10 funds. We're going to issue a purchase order to CSS Engineers for the door replacement. In the amount of, I think it was $76,450. Motion was made to bring it to the full board for adoption. I need a motion. Robert, second. Tina, all in favor? Also, Jeff brought forward repair for the Syracuse Hub sidewalk heating, which was damaged. We had recovered for this project $50,000 in insurance, which leaves us a net of $32,000. 100% New York State dedicated capital funds. Motion contract to be awarded to CNS Engineers. Motion was made to bring it to the full board for approval. I need a motion to adopt this. Tina, second. Luella, all in favor?
Aye.
Great. Okay, Resolution 3F. We're going to add Chris Tuff as a signatory to the bank account. Motion was made to bring it to the full board for approval. Need a motion. Tina, second. Darlene, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Resolution 3G. We're going to add Chris Tuff. I'm going to use Chris Tuff's facsimile signature on certain accounts. Motion was made to bring it to the full board for approval. I need a motion. Tina, second. Luella, all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 3H, install the UV lighting system and recirculating the heating and ventilation units. This is something that will be paid with the, what were those funds again that were called, what are we referring to, the CARES Act funds?
CARES Act.
Okay. Yep, CARES Act, thank you. For a contract with M4 Service Bethlehem in the amount of $67,000 odd. Motion was made to bring it to the full board for adoption. Can I have a motion, please? Tina, second. Darlene, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Also, just I was out of place here, but I'm in place, I think. I need a motion to accept the minutes of the June 19th, 2020 meeting. Luella, second. Robert, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, this is Christine. Did you make a specific motion for the budget impact statement under Regs 203.8?
No, but I could.
Thank you.
Okay, can you state how you want that motion there, Christine, for the record?
The motion would be for the board to adopt the budget impact statement under OG, the comptroller's, Office of the State Comptroller, Reg 203.8.
Good. As stated by our CFO, need a motion? Luella, second. Tina, all in favor? Thanks, Christine. I don't have you on my right, so I can't refer to you. Okay. Okay. I'm going to ask, as I redo these committees, just a little quick summary. I'm going to ask Mr. Schultz from the pension report that was given out.
So the pension committee met this morning with the representatives from Alesco, gave a detailed review of our year-to-date performance and allocation and cash flow in and out of the portfolio. No recommended changes to the investment policy statement were made.
Very good. Need a motion? Yeah, no. Okay. That's just info. All right. Very good. Mr. Licurdo, Chief Operating
Mr.
Officer.
Chairman.
report.
How you doing? Good afternoon. Well, good morning, everybody. Just to tag on to Jeffrey's resolution regarding the UV lighting, we're also going to be upgrading as much as we can the filters in these air systems also. We can only go so high because of airflow restriction, but in addition to the UV lighting, we will also, as mentioned in my report, we'll also be upgrading some of the filters in those systems as well. So we're doing everything and anything we can right now to make sure we are catching as much contagions as possible. So I just wanted to add that piece.
Rob, you're probably trying to increase to the outside air coming in.
Yeah, that also. It's all of it, Nick. We're working on all of it, quite frankly.
Appreciate your effort.
From Oneida facility, I've been reporting on it for months and months and months. Finally, the administrative staff have moved back in since that flood back in the fall. All employees will be in probably by the last week of July. Administrative staff, like I said, are already back in the building, which is, it's encouraging. But the reality is, as much as we've tried to patch up the building, this likely will happen again in the future. And at some point, as things normalize and funding rates itself down the road, we're going to have to look at really consolidating those facilities, becoming more efficient with a new facility, because that facility is just not for the long haul. So we'll keep you posted on that. But right now, funding being as it is, with the challenges of COVID, the impacts of COVID, it's nothing we're going to be looking at really in the near term. And lastly, it is a quarter end, so 6:30 marked the end of Q1 fiscal 21 for specialized transportation. I'm sure you noticed that our rides were down substantially, over 50%. So 22,000 rides or so. And when you do the simple math, you got 22,000 rides. That didn't happen in the first quarter at about $50 a ride. That's about a $1.1 million impact, ballpark, to the P&L. So while, this thing is not good in any way, shape, or form, revenues are down. We did have a reduction in demand, and a reduction in demand does translate into a material amount of money, around $1.1 million, just doing simple math in my head, at $50 a ride. We do expect that the remainder of this fiscal year, we will see ridership in terms of call of bus down substantially. I'm going to guess somewhere around 40% by year end will be your end number, and that will obviously have a positive impact to the bottom line as well. If there's no questions, that's all I have for today, and that concludes my report. Thank you.
Okay, super. Thanks, Rob. Appreciate the efforts everybody's making on that air. At this point, is there any old business? Because I do have something I want to say. Okay. I want to make a statement here that I think it's well deserved. I know today is Rick Lee's last board meeting with us. Rick served in great respect, just under 5 years with the authority. Met Rick a long time ago. He has been nothing but a gentleman and a hard-working, dedicated servant to this authority, starting back in the time when he was with Human Resources. And I saw somebody with a strong background with HR grow to a CEO of a transit authority that really something to be proud of. Went through a transition of, I say, some of the old guard that was here. And Rick did a phenomenal job. And, the one thing I have to say about Rick, it's not just Rick just as managing the transit authority. He actually is a caring person for the people that work here. He's a caring individual. for the riders because he knows that's who we serve. He's one hell of a family man. I've heard a lot of conversations over the years with his family, and you know, that's something that is something that a lot of people can't say all the time. On a personal note, I'm going to miss you. You've been, you know, we've talked many times over the years, awkward times, just to say what's going on. And I think on behalf of the board, too, and I'll open up to the board, we're going to really miss you, and we thank you. And as soon as all this nonsense is over with, you and I will have a little dinner in Utica one time.
Yeah, happy to do that.
And I'd like to open it up to the board.
I would like to say, and I think I'm speaking on behalf of the disabled community, Rick, you have made Colobus and every interaction so much better for all of us who are a little less physically able to maneuver the world. You have opened things up and been transparent. Personally, I couldn't have been happier to work with you over these years, and I am sad to see you go.
Thank you very much.
Rick, I wish you the best. You've been absolutely marvelous from the very first moment I walked in the boardroom, and I value you as a great friend.
Thank you.
Yes, Rick, it's been a pleasure to work with you, and one of your skills that's outstanding is the ability to work with the many different groups, like the elected officials, the employees, the passengers, and the public. Your ability to do that has been really great, and I'm going to miss you.
Thank you.
All right. I want to, once again, go ahead.
From the time I came on the board, it is like I appreciate you. You've been helpful. And you have a unique ability. It's unique because you are able to reach across the whole. And that I appreciate. That I'm going to miss you because you have helped me. There were times when I wanted to give up, but you were there. And for that, I thank you. And for that, I pray the blessings of the Lord go with you, with your family, increase you in whatever endeavor that you go in, because you know what? Being the person that you are, you will not be, you cannot stay still. You have to pass on, pay it forward, whatever have been given to you, and that is what I appreciate in you, and you be blessed.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
I will do that.
I'd like the former chairman to say a couple words.
Thanks. You left some big shoes to fill, Rick. Appreciate all your friendship and stewardship over the years. I thoroughly enjoyed working with you as chairman. I'm sure you can't change your cell phone number, so I'm going to need to reach out to you over the next coming months. But I really appreciate everything you've done for the authority and for me personally. So thank you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure working with all of you. I appreciate it very much. It's been really quite an adventure. All of you have contributed and given me counsel in various ways at various times that has been helpful, and many times you need to get a readjustment, a reality check, and you've all been able to do that for me, and I appreciate it very much. It's been a pleasure working with all of you and with the staff, with council over the last 20 years. Actually, I exited on my 20th anniversary. But I really do appreciate everything, and it's been a pleasure working with the board and the staff.
Just like to ask, Barry's been around here too long. Any comments?
When I wrote the law that started the Transportation Authority in 1970, I was 30 years old. I'm 80 now. And I've met many of you who have made my life really more pleasurable. And among the most of them is Rick. Rick is a caring, human resources directed, caring person whom I've been fortunate enough to work with for a few years, and I'm really appreciative of that.
This is great. This is something that I tell you, certain people impact your life, and definitely have an impact here. And you know, it's great, and I appreciate the transition period that we're doing, and we're working with Chris here. You know, it's always good to have someone to mentor over the time too. Because the one thing about getting older, which is interesting, you've made a lot of mistakes in your life, so you can always pass that counsel on to people that haven't yet made all those mistakes. But anyway, once again, we appreciate everything you did, and God bless you. God bless you. With that being said, that concludes our meeting. Not yet, though. There's going to be I'm going to look for a motion for executive session. Tina, second. Luella, all in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to keep in the room council, Rick, Brian, and Chris. Thank you.
Okay, we're coming out of executive session where there was a personnel matter discussed and no action was taken. At this point, I'd like a motion for adjournment. Robert, Tina, all in favor? Thank you. Have a good weekend.